It was a wonderful speech. The Prime Minister was very funny, a lot of good humor in the speech. A reminder of just how large the country of India is, how large the economy is, how fast it is growing. But most importantly, the most important part of the speech is the enduring friendship and partnership, economic partnership, defense partnership between the United States and India. And it was a good reminder for Congress and the American people.
It was so inspiring again, and I was here in 2016. I had the opportunity to be at the Red Fort in 2018. I was at Howdy Modi when the Prime Minister came to Texas. I was in New York when he spoke at Madison Square Garden, and every time the message from the Prime Minister is very positive and very exciting to see the relationship between the United States and India, the world's largest democracy, the world's oldest democracy. Working together, we benefit.
I thought it was wonderful. I think it's always important for the United States to have direct contact and trying to build the ties a little closer to our democratic partners. Particularly India is such an important country as a democracy in an area that's of great strategic importance to the United States.
Well, it was a very powerful speech. It was uniting. It gave a good vision of the future of the world and the partnership that we have with India. And it was clearly the message that we wanted to hear, especially in the globally complicated times that we're living with China and Russia and other countries that we're having trouble. It's nice to know that India is a friend and that the Prime Minister came here to let us know that, and that they are an ally, and that they're the world's largest democracy, and that they're with us.
He had not just one standing ovation. I think he had around 8 or 10 standing ovations. I think I lost count to over 80 applause lines. Great rousing speech. It was very popularly received, and he came across as very warm, genuine. We got to meet with him afterwards in a reception room. Very popular, obviously.
I thought he gave a very nice speech, and he talked about the partnership that we have between our two countries, the challenges that we face, and how we can do much more together. And he talked about the history of our relationship, and I thought it was very effective.
The Prime Minister gave a very strong speech. He affirmed the U.S. economic, technology, defense partnership, and he also said something very important, that India celebrates all faiths and respects all faiths, and of course needs to work towards doing that. It was a well-received speech.
It was wonderful, and number one, he was very warmly received by a joint session of Congress, House and Senate, as well as the Vice President. So it was very exciting to be able to warmly welcome him. And I thought his speech was very thoughtful, very filled with the partnerships of our two democracies. India's just 75 years old, and ours one of the oldest in the world. So the repeated refrain for the American and Indian partnerships at a growing time of trouble, I think, is incredibly important, both economic and in terms of world peace.
Just strongly impressed. He gave a great speech. It was uplifting. It was very relevant to the issues and conflicts facing the world. I think everybody in there, Republicans and Democrats, can learn from it and take a lot from it. And it's wonderful that we have a plan for a working relationship and a great relationship between America and India.
This is an important relationship. And I think the most important message that the Prime Minister made is that these are two very strong democracies. India, the largest democracy on the planet. And as democracies, we have a special obligation to demonstrate how democracies function, how we can grow and be inclusive at the same time, because we're in competition with other forms of government that take advantage of their form of government. So I think the Prime Minister really made that point very clearly, and I was happy that he did.
It was a fantastic speech talking about the unity between the United States and India on all things. First, talking about technology, all of our economic ties we have together, also our military ties that we have between the two countries, and also our joint efforts to curb the aggression from Communist China with the Quad. I thought was a very important statement on his behalf. He also talked a little bit about the Russian invasion into Ukraine on a global stage, and how the United States and India have to stand together against aggression that threatens sovereign nations. But I think more than anything, he talked about the future and the future alliance between the United States and India, how great that's going to be. And it was a very moving speech. It was great to have all the American Indians in the gallery who were so passionate about this man. You get the sense that he is very almost like godlike in his own country, and it was very moving, the whole experience.